Dakota.
Hey, Amir.
Don't forget to subscribe to Sharonatsea channel. Thank you.
Sharon, I just realized that we saw Maxwell last week, and we did not have him do a new Sharonatsea intro clip. Can you believe that?
I know we were pretty busy. I forgot.
You're extremely calm this evening, Sharon. Are you medicated or something?
I'm exhausted.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Night Live with Sharonatsea Travel. That's right. My name is Jamie. To my left, on your right, is Sharon, the one and only. What do we call you? North America's travel agent. That's right, guys. North America's travel agent. And we are back from a whirlwind, and I mean whirlwind of travel. 3 weeks of nonstop. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
I am still exhausted. I still have bags under my eyes. I look a mess. I haven't gotten a haircut. It's everything's out of control.
I think it was so tiring because we did so many different things instead of just like being on one long cruise or cruising off a cruise, on a cruise, road trips. It was just such a combination. So I think that's what was exhausting.
I got to put my specs on. The green is a great color on you, said Shayna Reed. See that?
Oh my
God. Hold on. What about my shirt? Has anybody noticed my shirt? You know why I'm wearing the shirt, guys? Listen, I don't want to get off on a football tangent, but it's football. This week there's football. Thursday night, the Chargers play the Lions in the Hall of Fame game, and boom, we're off to the races. It's football time again, and I could not be more excited. I know you guys all share in my excitement. So for all you football fans out there, we wait on. I think it's all settled down, but hopefully be safe out there, and we hope that. And I see a comment right now. Robin Allison says, Richard had some flooding from heavy storms. Hope your brother didn't have any problems with the flooding. Flooding, storms, it's still getting crazy out there. So we hope everyone's doing well. We hope you're safe and sound. And we hope that you've been able to have a good summer like we did. And now we're winding down the chaos of the summer. Taking a deep breath. You're very relaxed tonight. I think you're more exhausted than I am. You went nonstop on the trip, and you are still going nonstop. Beverly Juka says, Sharon, thank you so much for helping my lady friends today.
Oh, you are welcome.
There you go.
It's been a busy day.
Wendy Johnson says, you wear because you're charging batteries. No, that is not the case. It is the Los Angeles Chargers. Lori Cray, we see you. Linda Land, hello. Mary Ellen Dillon, Crazy Cat Traveler. Richard Vanden Aaron, what's up to Richard and Lori? We do see you, Shayna, and hello to Mark as well. We met those guys for the first time here in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I actually got to spend time with them. We met them once before.
Well, anyone I met on the Vloggers Cruise, I've wiped that from my mind. It doesn't count. It never happened, and I can't confirm it. Mike V says, Jamie, I can't believe you didn't stop your complimentary dirty martini at Casa Vermilion. Yeah. Mike, I'm sorry, man. We were all systems go. There was a few things we would have loved to do on the way out to Minnesota, but we couldn't pull them off.
Yeah. Well, we got there. We actually ended up having to leave a day later than we had planned. So when we got there, we had one less day with the family, and then we went off to Florida. And then we left for Florida, and then when we got back, we got there in the evening, and we actually left. We stayed at our daughter's house. We spent the night. They had already left to go to South Dakota. So we spent the night at their house, and we left early the next morning to meet up with them in South Dakota. So we really weren't in Minnesota very long, I guess. So.
Yeah, like 2.5 days on the front end and like 12 hours in the middle of the whole thing. Yeah. Riding with Larry says, hello, fellow cruisers just listening. Larry, woohoo girl, what's up? We hope you guys are doing good. Nice to see you. Wendy and Roger Johnstone, hello. Mary, Barkley, and Jack. Mary, I got your message. I will call you. Mary said I need to call her. She's got some strict instructions for me for my upcoming hip replacement surgery. That is less than 2 weeks away now, guys. Less than 2 weeks away. That vlog is going to be hot fire. Sharon, will you promise to get some video of me going into a deep anesthesia sleep? I know everyone would love to see that.
I don't think they're going to let me in there.
Well, what they let you do and what you do on the down low is two different things. John and Diamond are here. Tess on Mon. What's up? Daniel and Nancy Fields. Hello. All right, so anyway, all right, Sharon, let's just jump into it. That's right. The thumbnail tonight, guys, the thumbnail looks like this. It says, hey, our last 3 weeks, we've had sunrises, conquests, celebrations, and bears. And Daniel Field said, I wonder what we'll talk about the most. Well, listen, let's start it off right out of the gate with the sunrises. So after we rented a car drove to Minnesota,
Oh, and
hung
then,
out a few days.
And then our rental car had issues.
Oh, my
well,
God.
It didn't.
get me started
well,
on that.
it didn't actually. Luckily, it didn't have
it
issues.
threatened
We didn't
issues.
get stranded, but the check engine light came on. Then a couple times it wouldn't.
It said
Going
all of a sudden one
with the
morning
park or
we're in a hotel at Guyman, Oklahoma, kind of the middle of nowhere, right? That was one of the places we spent the night at a Hampton Inn, and I backed into a parking space, and when I started the car in the morning to pull it around front to load up everybody and all the goods, a message came on the front that said service shifter.
Oh, okay.
And the little dial shifter was not lighting up, so every time I turned it anywhere, all it wanted to do was go in reverse. And I thought we were done. I thought the trip was over. I thought we were screwed. I'm thinking Guyman, Oklahoma, where there's not going to be a budget here. How are we going to get another car? But I turned off the car, turned it back on. Everything, knock on wood, held its own. And we made it to Minnesota, dropped that car off, and said, I'm
But
done
I think
here.
it happened again.
It did. We had another error, but we weren't locked in reverse on the second time around.
So it was a little iffy, but
It was
we
crazy.
were glad to get rid of that car. I mean,
Yes.
it wasn't an old car.
It was a minivan.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But this
it
minivan
just-
was like a 2023 with 70,000 miles.
Yeah.
And then later we got a minivan that was like a
Coming
2024 with 10,000 miles.
Yeah.
And that thing was premium,
And
hot fire.
at
And
one-
yes,
at
we
one-
love a minivan, so don't laugh at us.
No, but at one point coming home in the newer minivan, the check engine light came on
It did.
once. Then it went off. But
Well, yes, it was on for a day and a half, and I was sweating it out a little bit.
I like
but,
just get us home.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So we did all that travel. So then so we got to Miami. We got on the Carnival Sunrise for kind of a little group cruise thing that we had going on with our good friends Brian and Julie from How We Cruise. So that was a great time, and
it was a lot of
we
fun.
saw some old friends. We met some new ones, and I got a few pictures I'm going to pull up in a little bit and go through the whole trip. So hang in there for those. We'll have a little montage, I think I got about 20 or so pictures I put together. Sharon has no idea that I did, so she's wondering what do you have and what do you show?
Yeah. Well, you might have seen some. I posted some on Facebook, but I don't know. Like 15 minutes ago, Jamie's like, "Give me your phone. I need your pictures."
Yeah, we needed a few last minute pictures, so we put that together. So we did the Carnival Sunrise, had a good time. Everything was pretty solid. Dining room was good. I don't know. Our cabin was a little rough around the edges.
The cabin was rough, yeah.
The ship was in pretty decent shape. It was a pretty good crowd on the ship. It wasn't too, I was sailing out of Miami. It was hot as bells.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Summertime
say the ship.
cruising.
I wouldn't say the ship was in the best shape, but
It was a little rough around the
we had a
edges.
great cruise because it was a group cruise. We were there with a lot of people, and we had a good time. But the ship, like I was on that ship. Back
You were there like a year ago, right?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago, I guess, on the last girls group cruise.
Yes.
We were on the Sunrise, and I will say that it was in a lot better shape back then. I mean, it's changed a lot in that last year.
Well,
It shows some of the wear and tear in the last year that
We
it
knew we
didn't
were in
have
trouble.
that it
When we
didn't
got
have
in
a
our-
year and a half ago.
When we got in our cabin and the balcony handle,
It was like
it was just
It
it was
looked like the
barely
whole thing
falling.
was
It
gonna
was
fall
barely
off.
falling off. It was every time we would cinch the balcony closed, the handle would loosen up, and then the balcony would open.
it would
so we
just
had
flop,
and it
like-
had like it didn't have the traditional lock on the top anymore.
that broke off, so they had one of those
It had
hooks.
like a locking hook where the hook went in to hold it.
Like something
and
you
it was
would,
a little bit of a
like
mess.
something that you would have on a gate on a farm somewhere. Something,
Yes.
one of those little.
Crazy Cat Traveler said, if it's a Toyota, that means it's due for its checkup. Listen, it was a Chrysler. The first one was a Voyager, and the next one was a Pacifica. So hey, listen, it was what it was, and we hung in there and we handled it pretty well. But we had a great time on the Sunrise, and
Yeah, we did. It was a lot of
seeing
fun.
new friends, meeting some new friends, and so that was awesome. And then
And we had some great fun in the casino. We actually spent
we did.
a lot of time in the casino.
We did.
And that was a lot of fun.
Well, it was another cool thing because I've talked about this a little bit, but I had an offer that is drinks on us in the casino, right? And that is supposed to be when you're actively gambling in the casino, you can order drinks that are going to be complimentary, right? It's not like Cheers. You do have a 15 drink limit for the day, as you always do on Carnival, whether you're paying or not paying, really. But that's a conversation for another day. And so the cool thing was because there's a casino bar, just like on the last one or two previous cruises, you could go to the casino bar and order a drink, and it would be complimentary at the casino bar because it's adjacent to the casino. They're assuming that you're going to go to the bar, get a drink, go back and play, back and forth, back and forth.
And a couple of years ago, you had to be actually playing.
Yes, yes, yes.
You couldn't go to the bar there. But now it seems like every cruise we've gone on lately that has the casino bar, they've honored that.
Yes, that's been something that was going on. So that was pretty cool. The bad thing is I didn't spend a lot of time hanging out at a bunch of different bars because when it was time to get a drink, instead of going to the Alchemy bar and spending 15, I could go to the casino bar and spend this. So that was definitely a good thing. I made a pit stop there every night on the way to dinner to get stocked up and. You got to take advantage. You got to take advantage.
That was kind of a joke at the dinner table. They're like, "Where's Jamie?" Because Matthew and I would show up earlier.
Yes, Sharon made me go by myself, limping along.
He's stopping at the casino bar.
Yes, that is right. Testamon said all those 4 and 5 day crowds will wear out an old ship. It definitely will. And the 3-day crowd on the Conquest, we'll talk about that in a minute. That will wear it out as well. That was worn out. Gina Bird said Jamie's a great blackjack teacher. Thank you, Gina. Yes, we got some of the girls were involved.
Yeah, we were having fun playing blackjack.
And that was a good time. Yeah. Gina was actually much better than her husband Matt. So who knew that was going to happen? I wasn't expecting that. And so the girls had fun, the boys had fun, and it was just a good time. Cruising Tyru says, yeah, shame they got rid of a lot of the bars on the newer ships. They did move out some of those casino bars to make room for casino games. So, but the older ships, they still got them, and it worked out good. Yeah. Heidi Lesson said, Carnival Legend, July 23, opened the balcony door when the kids came to our room, and the handle came off in my husband's hand. Thankfully, our son rigged it to work till maintenance shows up. It wasn't bad enough that we needed maintenance, but it was bad enough that it was noticeable.
Yeah, but it was like kind of
really quick, let me say hi. Nautical Nurse Nancy's in the house. Nancy and Leanne, our beloved team, SAST, the girls that are always keeping an eye on the chat. We love them for that. And thanks for always being there for us. Nancy does say, question, how's the hip doing after all this? So I have been using, and listen, if you don't know already, let me make sure I can put this into the view here. If you don't know, I have been rocking, and I mean rocking, this cane ever since the Carnival Elation cruise a couple months ago, because my hip has been so bad, right? It's total bone on bone, and it's extremely painful. And Nancy, I'll tell you what, it was challenging at times. And if I hit the right combination of like Aleve and Tylenol and Miller Lite and Grey Goose vodka, everything was okay. I could deal with it. But I really just I just try not to go out that much. Walking around Margaritaville, walking around Half Moon Cay, that was a little bit challenging. Getting around Celebration Key a little bit when we were there. We'll talk more about that. That was a little bit challenging. But, I did the best I could. You got to do what you got to do. And now it's time to relax a little and get that done. So, yes, Nancy says, yeah, I've never had that except for meeting my points for drinks on one Carnival cruise. Yeah, it's unique that they do that, but they do. And only one time out of a bunch of the times that I have a bartender tell me, that I can't really hang out and drink a bunch. I need to go back and play a little. Mm-hmm. But on both the cruises we were on, that happened. On the Conquest as well, so that worked out really good. I still think you need a top hat to go with that cane. Just saying, Roger Johnstone, you're not wrong about that, but Sharon has failed to get me that. By the way, I'm noticing these funky little crowns in the purple. I don't know. That's like a new thing, I guess, and I don't know what the deal is with it. But if you guys like it, then keep it there. I guess it ranks you by how many comments or whatever that you've done. So you could be a number 1, 2, or 3 crown fan. Or if you don't like it, you can go into the settings and turn it off so you don't have to see it. It's out of our control. Yeah. I looked and I can't turn it off anywhere.
I think they have to turn it off on their own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you both recouped from all that traveling now? Sugar, we're getting there.
Barely. By Wednesday, I think I'll be fully recovered.
Well, Sharon's you've been way busier than me once we got home.
I was busy the whole time we were gone, like with work stuff. Like, I don't know. It was kind of crazy. So, but when I got home, I've been nonstop since I got home.
Yes.
But probably by Wednesday, I'll be all caught up and with everything and be able to really like relax and stuff.
Well, I don't know that you'll ever get a chance to relax because you were working on the cruise you were working between stops. You were working at the Hilton in Miami, the Hampton Inn before I mean, you've been just crazy busy. Even when we were in South Dakota, you were busy doing stuff at the hotel and all that kind of stuff at night. So you've definitely been running wild. Julie Amos, what's going on, girl? We saw Julie on the cruise. She said, Sharon, my room on Sunrise wasn't in bad shape, but Conquest was very stained and dirty.
Yeah.
It was. Woo,
Oh yeah, even
it was dirty.
On the Conquest, our drapes, our curtains in the room
Yes.
had all these big, like really big stains on them.
Yes.
Like dirty looking stain. I don't know what it was, but like maybe someone threw a cup of coffee on them or something because it was kind of,
So yeah, something got on this. And I don't want to speculate what may have stained things, but there were brown stains and there were little pinhole holes because at certain times, like when we had the curtain closed and the sun was shining in the morning, I could see just little pinhole holes all over. So I don't know where they came from or what caused it or whatever. Kim Brubaker said, did Larry steal Jamie's liquid IV during the trip? No, he did not, but I did bring it, and that came in handy a few times. So there you go. Dana feels the question, did Conquest look like it was a few months away from the Crusher? I don't know. There were some parts of it were good, right? And we had some good experiences in a lot of the areas.
I think
it's tricky.
Some of the common areas weren't that great, and then other areas in the common areas were okay. Like I love the decor, the artistry, the flowers and things like that. I like that.
Yes.
But the cabins were the cabin was just in horrible shape.
It was rough. It was definitely rough.
And I don't know, certain things around the decks, like the deck just looked really Lido deck. Everything kind of looked worn out.
Our balcony was disgusting. The chairs looked like they'd been outside for 10 years and sun worn, stained. The little table that was on the balcony, the balcony trim, lots of black rust. So that was rough.
Well,
but we
really didn't go out on the balcony except for
But we didn't go on the Conquest because we wanted the Conquest. We went on the Conquest because we wanted Celebration Key, and that was the plan.
Well, we did go on the Conquest for one other reason, and that it was a combination because that was the one ship Matthew had never been on that we had been on, and he had been on all the other Conquest class ships. So he always wanted to go on the Conquest, and we never really cared to go on it again.
Yes.
But then when we heard it was going to Celebration Key, we're like, okay, well, we'll book it. And then he gets to go on the Conquest. We get to see Celebration Key. So, it's really run down compared to, 20 years ago or whatever.
It was 20 years ago we were on that.
Yeah.
Charles Hahn said, thank you to America's Travel Agent for arranging myself and my daughter's price drops.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, we know. Yes.
Got some nice price drops.
That's good. Carnival Conquest next dry dock scheduled for January 2026. High seas, Paul and Cindy. What's going on, guys? Great to see you. That can't come too soon, I think, for that ship. We went on the Conquest after the girls' cruise, and we loved it. But it is getting older. That blasted time goes by. You're right about that, Nancy. It gets a little rough around the edges. June Thomas is here.
I just saw her.
What's up, June? Hope you guys are doing good.
June. We had so much fun. They were on the Sunrise cruise with us.
Yes.
We sat on our dinner table, and they have a great family.
I hope Dylan has recovered from getting stuck having to sit next to me at dinner every night. I think the last night at dinner, things got a little bit crazy. And I saw Larry made a comment about that I had a couple of drinks from Melissa's drink package. It's not so much that I took the drinks from her, but they were offered. And on the last morning of the Sunrise cruise, we did a little sip and soak thing in the hot tub. And then we ended up getting into the pool. And then all of a sudden, just drinks started coming. And there were hazy IPAs, and then there were Long Beach iced teas, which is amazing if you haven't had it. It's a regular Long Island iced tea, but instead of having cola, you put cranberry in it. It's delicious. And next thing I knew, it was time for dinner. So that's going to happen.
Luskan said, is the Conquest due for dry dock?
Yes. See,
that was her first cruise in 2013. Yeah, it really
well,
needs a dry dock.
That's what High Seas Paul and Cindy just said, that it's going to be January 2026.
But the thing with that is the only, I guess, things when they go in for dry dock, a lot of times they either update or kind of clean up like a lot of the common areas. like they don't always do a lot in the cabins. It seems like when they take these ships in for dry dock,
Yes.
and or they also do some mechanical things. And this ship definitely needs a lot of work in the cabin. In fact, the Conquest. Another thing with our Conquest room, besides our door having another weird lock thing not working and our door handle.
Well, on the Conquest, I don't know if we should go into that story.
Well,
our balcony door was warped a little bit.
I was going to talk about something totally different.
Okay, well, go ahead.
But so when I went to pull open the drawer to put some things away, I pulled open the bottom drawer, and the railing on the sides, the metal railing that slides the doors in and out, the whole thing just like plopped down in the drawer. It was off. It was just in the drawer. So the drawer was all like weird. And then the other thing was, well, this didn't really have to do with the ship, but it had to do with probably our cabin steward cleaning our cabin. So when we went to go put our things away, I opened one of the closet doors, and all of a sudden there's a pair of dirty socks from the previous guests from the week, the sailing before us.
These things will happen.
And they were like put together, and they were in the closet there in the corner, like probably had them in some dirty laundry or whatever, and they were just left in there.
They just got missed.
And so
I told Sharon, I said, just grab them and throw them away. And Sharon said, I'm not touching those dirty socks.
Well, the thing is, it made us wonder, like, okay, if those were there, he obviously didn't check any of the closets or probably the drawers or anything. So who knows what he really cleaned. I mean, the bed was made, the counters were cleared off and everything like that. But you just never know.
Did you bust out
how well they really
You didn't bust out the block light?
No,
no
we didn't
black
have
light.
that.
Okay, that's a good call.
Yeah, and this was, I always bring like the sanitizing wipes for the cabins, and since this cruise we had so much going on this time, I guess I just forgot them. I didn't think to bring them. I didn't bring them, and so I was like, oh my god, I just felt like I needed to clean that whole cabin, re-clean it before we put our things away. So luckily, I did have this. Hand soap that's like the pump that's antibacterial hand soap. So I went in the bathroom, I put a bunch of that in like the washcloth and everything, and I wiped down everything myself with that. But yeah, I just felt like that cabin was just dirty. Like, I don't know, it just felt dirty.
That's crazy. Let's see. Hold on, I got a couple comments here. Gina, what's going on? Gina Swise. Is it Swise or Sweeze? I forget. Says, haven't been here for a while. Good to see you. She's excited about the Chargers. Which alternate jersey did you get, Jamie? I think Matthew's going to get the yellow, and I'm going to get the dark navy, or vice versa. We'll see what happens. We're going to a lot of games this year. We have tickets for a couple games, so we're super excited. Never do a black light. Ignorance is bliss. Tripping with R&B. You're right about that. Yeah. You are absolutely right about that. Let's see. Yeah,
if we did the black light, we had one time, and we were going to do that in a hotel and just kind of see. But then I think we did it towards the end of our stay, and actually that hotel was pretty clean. We didn't see that much.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I used the black light before I stayed somewhere, I probably wouldn't want to sleep.
You don't want to do that.
I'd probably be like, okay, let's leave.
You're asking for trouble. You are asking for trouble. So I do see Jen. I know you had a couple comments about the surgery. Thank you so much for that. Jen said, hey Sharon, I think you like the Carnival Firenze. I just had a cruise on it. Was very impressed. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know. Yeah. Remember, that is something we're not talking about it too much, but we did end up having to change our plans for New Year's this year on the Aqua. So we are going on the Carnival Firenze, much less expensive, a ton of money due to this. And a handful of people have switched as well, and they're going on it. So if anyone's interested in going, you can always contact Sharon. It's not a group cruise. It's just a bunch of people that are going to be there. So we just wanted to clear that up.
Let's see.
Just want to clear that up. June Thomas says, we wiped down everything too. June, you're right. You got to do that.
Yeah. I saw something. Okay.
Jamie Wilhite says, when's your surgery? So Jamie, the surgery is August 8th. That's the day. And I was excited. We ended up leaving a day late to go on this whole adventure because I had to get blood work done within 30 days of my surgery. So I had to get that done, and then it wasn't until 4 or 5 days ago I finally talked to the doctor's office to find out that everything was accepted, everything's good. Insurance has blessed the procedure, so we're all good there. So everything's all set. What?
Oh, okay.
You stealing Lucy out of here? Okay. That was our girl Callie was popping in. And one thing you notice, listen, if you're wondering, we were with Callie for a lot of the trip, but she also went out to go visit her grandparents in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
so you're not going to see she wasn't on the cruises with us, but she was there for the whole South Dakota and that whole trip and everything like that.
Mel Stowe said, I'm excited for Celebration Key on the girls' cruise in October. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to all hang out there and have a great day. And that's speaking of the girls' cruise, that's kind of my focus this week too. This is at the end of the week. This is final payment week. So that's keeping me busy too with getting all that squared away.
That is. And you and Nancy listen, Sharon has got some plans for Celebration Key where the girls are going to party, and I think it's going to be hot fire. I think you're going to like it.
Oh, it's nothing. It's, what do you mean? It's
well, I mean, you went there. You identify a place that you think would be cool. Great place for the girls. Yeah. Pictures.
I just
drinks
thought
nearby,
it would be a little better to be
It'll be cool.
A little closer over by the swing bar area. Not right at the beginning.
Not the swinger bar. That's a different bar on another cruise line.
Closer to that side versus the swim up bar. For a few reasons. The music's better over there.
Don't give it all away. Don't give it all. You gotta tease it.
It'll be fun to take some.
You and Nancy will plan it all.
Photos on the swings, right, Nancy? I think you'll like that.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
All right, let me get back into a couple of the comments here, and then we're going to get into the picture montage here in a minute. Mr. Z, what's going on? Hope you and Lindy Lou are doing okay. Yeah. As quick as they turn the ships around, I'm surprised much of anything gets cleaned very well. I know. I remember when the whole post-pandemic, when everything was sanitized and all that, and now I think these guys are just, one guy told us he had 29 cabins.
Yeah, on the Sunrise, we asked some of the crew on both of the cruises. Mm-hmm. We might do a video or something on that at some point down the road, because we talked to a lot of different crew members and asked them a lot of questions about different things like that, like how many cabins do you have, just different things about how things kind of are now compared to how they used to be several years ago. And our room steward told us he had 29 cabins. All to himself. He had a helper in the morning for a while, but the afternoon and evening, cabins that he cleaned, those were all just him. So they are really busy on Carnival. I don't know.
They are stretched. Somebody said that they are stretched.
I don't think that they had that many cabins back when we cruised several years ago, and they always used to have like an assistant the whole time, and they don't anymore.
Oh well, our one guy said that he sometimes in the morning he has an assistant. Yeah, but then in the after. Oh yeah.
I just said that.
I'm sorry, I was reading and listening. It looks like I was reading more than I was listening. My apologies. I have read and gotten feedback of how amazing. I'm not going to bore you with the hip surgery. I'll talk more about it as it happens and after it happens. But I will make some videos for it. But I keep reading all this stuff, how it's amazing. You'll be up and walking in no time. You won't need use a walker for 2 or 3 days and then a cane, and then by week 2 you're on your own and doing all this. But as I dug deeper into research, I found a lot of stuff where people said, "Hey, that's not how it always works."
Well,
those are certain situations.
Always exceptions.
I'm a little huskier.
You need to stop looking at the negativity and think positive, Jamie.
I'm always positive, but I just want to. I want to know what I'm expecting. I lost a ton of weight.
Negative people.
Listen, I lost a lot of weight 2 years ago, and with the fact that I haven't moved much for the last 2 years, I've gained half of it back at least. So I'm on the husky side. I'm older. We'll see how it works out.
Is Callie in the chat? I see a few people saying hi to Callie, so I don't know if she popped in.
No, they're saying hi because I said that she was here.
Oh, okay. Well, she pops in sometimes, so that's why.
That's Jamie. Well, I said, so glad you are approved and you can move on with the plans. I know. Listen, I was stressing that out, and because we've been traveling and everything, I hadn't really had any communication with anything back home or the doctor. So I left a message on the ride, and then I got a voicemail back saying, yes, James, we've received everything. You're all set, and we'll be calling you 1 to 2 days before the procedure, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then I got home, and there was mail from the insurance company that said everything's been approved. I was like, oh, that was good, because I was a little bit stressed out. My friend's sister actually did have a bad experience. They just didn't want to say anything, but... No, Crazy Cat Child, I know. Sometimes there are some people that go 3-4 weeks and they're still swollen. They're still having trouble getting feeling back in their leg. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll let you.
Nancy said, "Sharon's right as always." How positive.
Well, I know that. I know, Nancy. I know Sharon's always right. I know she is. I hear alcohol on the cruise kills the pain. Kevin Brubaker, you're not 100% wrong about that. Shana Reed had one not too long ago. She was running around the cruise like a wild woman.
Yeah.
Be prepared for some pain and need to take it slow the first few weeks. But it really was amazing how quickly things improved.
Oh,
So that's
sound
good.
is cutting in and out, Charles Hahn said.
Charles, I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Maybe it's on you. I don't know. Maybe it's on us. We'll see. Yeah. Betty O said, Jamie, my husband said his hip replacement surgery was the best thing he ever did. Take the meds as prescribed. You will do great. Thank you. Steve Morales says, I go 3 weeks without a shower. Hold on. Steve, are you talking about after a hip replacement, or is that just a general thing that you roll with? I just want to get clarity on that. Oh, hold on. It says it keeps buffering. Okay, hang on 1 second here. I have got... Sharon, you got to hold down the fort. I got to go check something, okay? Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I have a disconnection somewhere.
Okay, let me see. I don't know. See, I saw... there's a question for you. I will wait on that one. They're saying do your therapy and watch your precautions. Yeah, I've gone through all the things, the do's and don'ts with him. So we'll see how well he listens to me. I'm going to threaten him and tell him that if he doesn't do things right, I'm not going to take care of him. Let's see. Cruising Tyru says, yeah, whenever I ask if they can clean my room at night instead of the morning, they look stressed out and I feel bad. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we've had times where we've wanted to sleep in, or the kids have been sleeping in, and so they weren't able to get to our room. And then sometimes I feel bad, and our room isn't really that bad. We usually just need clean towels. So I'll just sometimes go out and just ask them, hey, can we just get some clean towels and trade those out? And don't worry about cleaning the room because, it's not a big deal for us. But yeah, they are really working hard.
Okay, I don't know if that changed. I'm sorry. Well, one of the internet wires is a little bit wonky, so I think something might have lost a little connection.
Oh,
so
is it
we'll
better?
See how it looks.
Better now? I don't know. Be on there.
I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of freeze up, but I think maybe it's a little bit better now. So we'll see what we got going on. Let us know in the chat if we're getting a little jumpy. I had to leave and come back so I can hear some Marilyn and Dylan. You guys are lagging a little, said Julie. Well, lots of buffering. It might be YouTube. No, I don't know if it was. I don't know if it's YouTube. I think it might have been us.
Yeah, let us know if it gets
I think
better.
It might be better. It looks like we're connected again. Let me check my official connection here, Sharon. Let me pretend I know exactly what's going on. I think we're fixed now. Maintain smooth streaming. Might be some buffering. All right, well, I don't know. Listen, we'll see what happens. All right, why don't we do this? Why don't we jump in and start showing a few of the photos here?
Okay.
And we'll go through a little bit of our trips and our experience and let you guys see some of that and let us know. And then we'll jump back into some of the comments.
We'll talk a little bit about Celebration Key.
Yes, we get into that. We'll take we still have some Celebration Key content that we're working on to come out. Kind of a likes, dislikes, what we really thought of it after showing the tour and our experience for the day. So we don't want to talk about too much of it.
Either tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday morning, that'll come out.
Yep. All right, so let's start with this. Boom. Let's go right into a little photo here. That is a great photo. That's us with Brian and Julie, our great friends from How We Cruise, our co-hosts for the group cruise. So that was a lot of fun. Had a great time. We hadn't seen them on a cruise in quite a while, so that was pretty awesome, getting to see them again. Let's see, what else do we have here? Next up, that's a whole picture of the group there that we all took that same night. You might see a few familiar faces in there and some new faces, so that was a good time. And it was kind of funny. The dude in the middle, this guy came walking by, and so I yelled, "Captain!" And then a few people were like, "Captain!" And so we said, "Hey, you want to be in the picture?" I always yell "Captain" when I see a guy dressed like that. It's just how I don't know if he's a captain or not. So he comes over, he gets in there, and he takes a picture with us. And then after the picture is all done, then he goes, "By the way, I'm not the captain. I'm like food and beverage manager, but it's okay. Yeah. You can tell people I'm the captain." And so we had a good laugh with that. So that was very funny. The guy had a great personality. So that was kind of cool. That was our table at dinner there. So that was a good time. Had a lot of fun there. Let's see. Up there's Sharon. That's her first margarita. on the cruise ship. And of course, she went with the strawberry margarita, as she usually does. So very nice shot there. That's on the sunrise right there, because you can see a few people in the background. Let's see what else. Oh, okay, there we are, Half Moon Cay. I had my weekend forecast cigars and a chance of bourbon shirt on, so that was good. And I actually limped out there, so I didn't have my cane on me at the moment. And the one thing I love is you can see the sand right there. It is like powder.
Is so
Half Moon Cay is so much better than any other place. It really is.
One of the best places.
And it goes all the way out too. It's so good. It feels so good and so comfortable. It was fabulous. Let's see. I just want to make sure that the comments are still good and people are still seeing stuff. Here was the shot. That was Corey and Lori right there, and we parked ourselves at the I wish I could have stayed here longer or forever bar. So that was the spot that we hung out at.
That's a great kind of area. If you walk down to that in Half Moon Cay, kind of that area is a nice area to get the lounge chair.
It was nice, and we got there and we got the second row, which we were cool with. We didn't need the first row. So this is our row. This was our row of chairs, and the first couple of chairs we grabbed at first to sit in, and but then we had to make a change because once we started getting situated, the people that were in the row in front of us decided to put one of these up, and we were like, "Listen,
I can't see the water anymore."
Yeah, like I guess you can bring your own stuff there, but. Are you kidding me? This turned into my view from my chair on Half Moon Cay. And I'm like, come on, guys. Really?
And that would be okay, but if
Unbelievable.
you're going to do something like that, take like the back row or something so that you're not disrupting other people's views, you know?
Yeah, that was wild. So, and then the funny thing was the picture before, Sharon was going down here. And when she went down here, she was going to move our seats down here. But then the chairs right in front of her, the people went and got a bunch of umbrellas. And when they put the umbrellas in, they put them like on the back side of the chairs. So like the umbrellas were practically covering where we would have been. We literally moved our chairs 3 times, I think, till we finally settled in. But once we settled in, it was fabulous.
That was like, what's that
yes.
thing in the car where you change, you know?
Yeah, yes. Where you're changing your seats around and all that kind of stuff. It was, I think, that I don't know if it's right. I don't know if they say that anymore. Back in the day, we used to call it a Chinese fire drill, but we'll leave it at that. All right, so then... so here's a look. So this was kind of interesting. This was in Grand Turk. We got off the ship and we decided to give Margaritaville one more chance because some of the people in the group hadn't been there, and we had a good time. And we will make a video about our final experience at Margaritaville. Well, what we expect to be our final one, and we'll talk more. But I don't know if you guys have seen this before. Number one, tons of seaweed in the water right here at Grand Turk, which we have never seen before. And if you notice in this picture...
Well, we don't usually go in the summer either. So it may be that way more in the summer. I mean, normally we don't cruise or we haven't cruised in the summer to the Caribbean in several years.
Yes. Well, if you notice, hold on, let me make this picture a little wider. So notice that all the chairs are back behind this fence here. Usually the chairs are out into the water, if I recall correctly, or down into the sand. But now it was just all beach and all the chairs were up here and there were a lot of clamshells and stuff like that. So that was weird. I haven't seen that before. It does, Kevin Brubaker said it looks like an oil slick. It did look a little bit weird, but you know, it was what it was. What are you going to do? This is always great. When you come back into Miami, then on either the final morning of your cruise, and this was the final morning of the sunrise.
That's always a nice view when you first come in.
It is totally gorgeous. We love that. Miami's still, it's still kind of my favorite place to cruise out of all of them. I'll tell you that right now. All right, here we are. Oh, this was our Hilton Hotel. We love this hotel. And we got lucky because we had what they call a bay view, and we were like on the 10th floor. So once we got in here, kicked back and relaxed, dropped all of our bags.
Yeah, we could see all the cruise ships.
Then we had this view out our window. Now, unfortunately, that day, when we got dropped off that day, we were the only ship in port that was doing a turnaround. What day? I think, was that a Friday or a Thursday possibly or something like that. But we still had a pretty cool view where you can see over and see where all the ships would usually be. So that was pretty awesome from that Hilton. So we liked that a lot. Let's see. There's a few comments. Were there police waiting in Miami? No, we were good to go. No police waiting for us. We were cool there. All right, then of course we got on the Conquest and we made our way to Celebration Key. So we got a few little photos from Celebration Key that we'll show you here. This is a very sexy picture of me, just totally chilled out and relaxing. Now, Matthew and Sharon were nice enough to let me go. We got 3 chairs. And look at we got there early. We got off the ship. We were some of the first people off the ship. And, it was barren in the beginning of the day. And maybe that's because the Conquest is a party ship. And people didn't start arriving until about 2 or 3 hours later, for sure.
Well, people were going strong all night long.
Yeah.
We heard noise running up and down the hall,
Oh my gosh,
screaming until like probably 3 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah, it was noisy.
Heidi said the seaweed's bad in the summer. They must not have been able to clean it up from the beach.
Yeah.
Steve Morales thinks I look pretty hot right there. Thanks, Steve. And there we are. And then we went onto the swings there at the swing bar, had a drink. So that was a good time there. Matthew was hanging out with us. So we enjoyed that. Sharon took a lovely picture of her. There are these steps right in front of the swing bar, and I think that will be the perfect spot for the girls' cruise picture.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, Nancy, I don't know what you think, but this is a great little hangout spot to be in the water. It's shallow. We're going to talk more about that in our next video. There's a lot of shallow water at Celebration Key, unlike Coco Cay, where the water is fairly deep throughout the whole pool, except where you kind of walk in and out. Here, it's really shallow at all around the edges. And only in the middle, the very middle, is there a little bit of an area where it's a little bit deeper that you'd want it to be. But, and then we were right outside of the swings again and having a cold refreshment. So that was definitely a good time. We had a blast. You can see some of the cabanas in the background there a little bit. Next up, okay, now we made our way to South Dakota. This was a campsite that
that's a different view.
this is a very different vibe. So we went from this. Let's see, where would you rather be, guys? Would you rather be here or would you rather be here? So there's me having a cold beer with Lucy on the little patio. That was where our daughter and her husband, where Brittany and Brett and the kids were parked with their RV. They were staying there. Their RV just couldn't hold 10 of us, so we got a hotel right nearby. So we hung out a few times and enjoyed our time there. Crazy Cat Talbot said, as a weirdo who can't swim, I appreciate shallow water. Is that a purple, Sharon? Does she land your Jamie hat on? No, I think it was gray. It just looked purple.
Yeah.
There's no purple.
Yeah, I did have some like lavender kind of
Lori Craig saying, yes, it is. It might have just been the sun reflecting. I'm not quite sure. All right. Oh, then, of course, 2 beautiful things. Well, 3. Number 1, my beer. Number 2, the mountains in the distance. And Sharon right there as we sat on the patio. Bundled up a little bit more than we were a couple days earlier. Sharon, I know you probably don't love that picture.
No, it's weird. It looks like a head on a, like it looks like you.
It looks like someone else's body. Yes,
no, but it's just a weird.
You look a little stretched out there. It's not your usual figure. She'll yell at me later.
No, but it was just weird.
So then one of the fun things was we went to Bear Country, USA, and we saw all these animals, and we went through and saw some of the coolest stuff. These elk. I mean, look at the rack on that elk, and the ones up above too. Unbelievable. Just beautiful sights as we got to drive our car through this refuge, through this wildlife place. And that was unbelievable. And of course, there's our friend, the little bear. So we did see some bears as well. Daniel Fields, you were wondering if we'd talk more about the bears. So I think we're going to give equal time to everything here. And we also, oh my gosh, when we went through we drove the Needles Highway to the Custer State Park. Yeah. And there's like a wildlife area, and we saw herds of buffalo, and we got really I know this picture is a little zoomed in, but I'm telling you that our vehicle
was only about 2 feet away, and from some of
2 feet, 10 to 2 feet away, and we really got a good look at them. And Sharon was dying to get out and take pictures, but we had to yell at her and tell her to stay in the vehicle so you wouldn't get bum rushed.
I did get out the one time, and everyone yelled at me.
Yes, I was trying to get you off the hook there. There's Sharon with Maxwell and little Harper. Hamming it up for the picture there at Bear Country, USA. So that was a great time there. Enjoyed ourselves there. That's Brett and Brittany and the 3 kids. Luke is on the one backpack with the orange hat on. Tough to get him to smile for the camera. Maxwell there, and then Harper is on Brittany's back. So that's some more of our family right there. Those are the folks. Those are our Minnesota family. You saw our other local family on our Radiance cruise. These are the Minnesota family folks. And And then, of course, you got Matthew there at Mount Rushmore. He was super, super excited to get in there and check out Mount Rushmore. That was a big, big deal for him. And it meant a lot to him. And so that was very cool. And that's it. So that's a little look through some photos of our trip and our time and what we did. And we had a blast. Yeah. Did you have a blast or what?
I did. I had so much fun. All the parts of it were fun. You know?
Yes. Don't get tossed by a buffalo. You're right about that, Linda Land. That would be a bad thing. I kept wanting to take a close-up picture of the buffalo and send it to Nancy Fields and say, Buffalo! Because I think that's one of her favorite games in the casino. Bogan Painter. What's going on, Bogan? Bogan says, I saw some nice racks at Celebration Key. Those were different racks. The elk have a different rack than some of the racks you saw at Celebration Key, Bogan. Bogan was cool. We met him. I ran into him on the ship. He said hi. And then we ended up sitting right next to each other on the island, so that was cool. And he had the conch fritters. He said the conch fritters were okay, but some other folks reported they were a little bit bready. But we'll talk more about this. Take this and buy a bell so Sharon can tend to your needs. Thank you, Larry. Larry just did that so he'd be the #1 crown in the purple. That's what he wanted to do. Thank you for the super chat, Larry. Always appreciate it.
I'm sure he'll be ringing that bell.
Julie said it made me tired just watching it all, but it must have been an amazing trip. Julie, you know you were right. You were rocking and rolling, but you were probably tired too. Poor Julie. So we're going on this trip, and you know Julie,
just
our friend here.
A couple days before the group cruise, she broke her foot, and so she decided to still go on the cruise and make the best of it. And she came on the Sunrise, the group cruise. She went on the Conquest with us after, and then made her way home. And hopefully, Julie, you're taking it easy and healing up. But gosh, I don't know if I could have done that. And it was so hot on both of these cruises too. On top of it, that it made that kind of stuff work.
Yes. Captain's Table MDR. We went by and we saw a crazy horse from a distance. Sharon on her Facebook page, she posted a really good picture of the face. But
we just
the mountain is having a lot of work done to it still.
Yeah, we just didn't go right up there.
There you go. Sharon did have a high noon at one point during the trip. We must admit she might have had 2 of them, so we'll see. And that's right. Shayna is commenting back to Redneck Lover 22. Yes, you can leave the port. So we're going to talk more about this in our Celebration Key video. But one of these things is, Celebration Key is not an island; it's a destination. We kept calling it an island in our video.
I think
naturally you just want to refer to it as an island
because when any cruise line has a private destination, a lot of times there are islands, and people just refer to them as a private
island destination. So, but it's not an island. It's actually just a little section, and it's a little bit east of Freeport and a little bit south of Grand Bahama, which is on the other side, and it's on the Grand Bahama Island. So there are a lot of excursions you can take that aren't Celebration Key, and you actually leave the port area. There's a whole place in the back where you can get a taxi. You can leave on your own. You can go out with excursions and go do other things. I don't know how long it takes to get there, because the area around Celebration Key reminds me of a scene from 28 years later or something. It's I think
it's only about
dense forest of nothing.
Or so to Freeport. It's not that far.
Kentucky Leisure. What do you do for towels on the private island? We brought our towel off the ship. They said bring your towel off the cruise ship because Carnival puts them in your cabin. Then you take them with you. But what was cool is when you got back on the ship, if you didn't want to carry that towel, there was a place you could drop your dirty towel and grab a new one right as you got through security and before getting on the elevator to go up to your cabin.
Steaming Beans, are you planning on taking in a Chargers game this season? They will be good.
Steaming Bean, yes, we do have a couple Chargers games on the hook, and we're going to be going to a couple of those here. I'm just hoping I can get healed up in time to make the trek from the parking lot into the stadium. So we'll see. We shall see. Did you swim on the beach in Celebration Key or just sunbathe? Kentucky Leisure.
We went in the lagoon, like the big pool lagoon area. We were in there. We were in there quite a while. We had lounge chairs, but we really didn't lay out on them very long. We were mostly in the lagoon. We did walk down to the beach area and checked it out. We got video of it, which was in our last video, and walked around down there just to kind of check it out. But we didn't, lay out there and go in the water there. And to be honest, I don't, if I ever went back, I don't know that I'd want to go to the beach there and hang out. I would rather hang out around the lagoon. The beach was rocky, so like you would need water shoes. It was
the
pretty
beach,
rocky.
it didn't look awesome.
It just wasn't. There didn't seem like much going on there.
Test it is nothing like it.
Like what?
Test says, how is the sand at Celebration Key? Is it as good as Half Moon Cay?
Oh no.
Oh no. No. The sections we saw, there's just like rocks and stuff to go through.
The sand by the
lagoons.
Now the sand you walk in by the lagoons is softer than by the beach, but it's still walking around the sand in the lagoon area. There were a couple times where I was barefoot and like a little piece of like a seashell or something I kind of stepped on, and it kind of I mean, it didn't really hurt, but it was just kind of like,
Yes.
you just kind of, it's not the soft powdery sand like Half Moon Cay.
There you go. Steve Brown says, I just learned about your group cruise next year. I'm going to talk Ruth into it. Are you talking about the Greece cruise? Because there's a lot going on with that Greece cruise coming up soon, Steve, that you're not going to want to miss out on if you're thinking about jumping on that bad boy. And if you are on that, we don't want to talk too much about it here on the live stream. But by Wednesday, we're going to release schedules for Zoom calls for the Greece cruise, and Sharon will have all the excursions out. If you're interested in doing an excursion that kind of links up maybe with others in the group and possibly with us too, she's going to have some excursions you can choose to do. They're outside the cruise line, or you can book anything else you want with any other cruise company or travel or excursion company you want. Yeah. But she's going to put those out too. So
so we're going to try to do a Zoom call next weekend, possibly Sunday, and then one next maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And then we'll have people kind of choose which one works better for them. We're trying to hopefully have, the people spread out so there won't be so many on one, so that on the Zoom call, you'll be able to kind of see.
Yeah,
we don't want everyone's face to be like this big.
Yes.
No, we can't. It's harder to chat back and forth. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, let's see. Hold on. I got a couple questions coming in for the Celebration Key. Charles Hunt said something about they have all the kids, kind of in the adult area. So, all right, let me address that first really quick, Charles, because you brought that up. So everything we heard about Celebration Key, I just want to go over this real quick with you guys, because I know you'll still go back and watch the video when it comes out, so I can trust you to do that. But everything we heard about Celebration Key was there is a kids side, a pool, lagoon, and an adult-friendly adult side. Okay, so that's what we heard and understood as we got on the cruise. And then, and I do have something to show you guys as well. Then when we got into our cabin on the cruise ship, they did have some maps and stuff that we got. And here's a look at the map that we got. So this thing was in our room. It hang on a second here. Okay, so I can move this over a little bit. That just shows where all the dining places are and the activity places. But the map showed us some stuff. It showed us the whole Celebration Key area. And on the bottom, it showed both lagoons. And it says, in the lagoon section on the bottom there, it says, it's a Starfish Lagoon, family friendly. Calypso Lagoon, adult friendly. And in red, it says, the western end of Calypso Lagoon is adults only. So when we read that, we interpreted that as the western end, which is the Calypso Lagoon, is adults only. Notice Calypso Lagoon in the pictures on the left, Starfish Lagoon is on the right. Now then when we started looking closer, let me bring this in a little bit for you guys to see. When we look closer, you can see, you see where it says Calypso Lagoon right there. And on the left, it says Calypso Lagoon Swim Up Bar, 18 plus. Then it says above that Calypso Lagoon Peninsula, 18 plus. Those are a bunch of cabanas. Then on the left, it just says Calypso Lagoon 18 plus. So the way that we interpreted everything was that the Calypso Lagoon is basically for adults. It's adult friendly. It's got the swim up bar. Right next to that sandcastle in the middle, it's got the swing bars there. So everything that we understood on that was that it was going to be an adult friendly. Even quickly reading, let me just make this a little smaller here.
Yeah, so we really just didn't think that much of it really, because and we don't mind kids. I mean, we have kids. We made one. Kids.
We made one of our own,
and that's not the problem. But it's just is what we found happening on our cruise, and then this may change. It may not be all cruises, but when we walked around the whole island, Matthew and I, to do the tour of the island, and there were hardly there was hardly anyone at Starfish Lagoon, and just a few people that had kids, hardly anyone. But when we came back to Calypso Lagoon, like it was full of kids. All the kids, the families, they were going there because probably the parents wanted to be there, so they brought the kids there. And I know the swim up bar, you have to be 18 to go over to that bar. But there's nothing that says you have to be 18 over by the swing bar. So kids were up and down all around the swings. The kids wanted to be on the swings. So, I don't know. I mean, if you're not going to allow kids at a bar, because technically kids really aren't supposed to be at a bar, then it should be all bars, not just one bar.
Yes.
And so that was just
why can't they be at the swim up bar? Why can't they be there? But over. So that was the thing. So when we made our video, while we were talking about it, while we were there, we were like, listen, we thought this was going to be all adults, adult friendly, kid friendly on the other side. That's how we understood it to be. Even looking at all the paperwork we got and reading it, that's how we still understood it. Then we also asked 2 different lifeguards while we were in the pool, and we said, hey, I thought this was adults. And one lifeguard, one girl looked at me and said, yeah, it's supposed to be, and kind of shrugged, and that was it. And another one that you asked said, yes, it is. But, if the parents want to bring the kids over here, that's up to the parents if they want them to be in the adult side. So even the lifeguards had that kind of understanding. So we made the video, and a few people are like, "Oh, these people don't have the right information. It's only 18 plus on the one side of the lagoon," and that's ridiculous because there's nobody. There's one sign there that might be keeping people from going past it. There's no one monitoring it or anything, so kids could have walked over to the to the other side.
There were
of the
lifeguards. There were a lot of lifeguards there, and there was one lifeguard posted at that area there.
Yes.
Where you would walk by, and he was telling kids, not to go over there, whatever. But, and I don't know if this will happen, but what I see happening is the family's going over there. A lot of the parents are going to be over at the swim up bar,
and kids running roughshod.
With all the music going and everything, and the kids will be out there playing in the water, unattended. And so I'm just seeing that in the future. Now, I didn't say I saw that really completely happening. I might have seen a little bit on our cruise, but I can see in the future as more and more ships go there, like say you have 2 ships in port, larger ships, more people, I can see those types of things possibly happening.
Heidi, you're right. Heidi said, don't forget, this is just the basics beginning of Celebration Key. They're still working on stuff. Yeah, and I'm sure they are, but that was a little bit confusing, but this was the first time we got to defend ourselves because people are like, these people are giving the wrong information. And we're like, listen, that's the information we got. And we interpret it as the West End Calypso Lagoon is 18 and the east side was Starfish Lagoon.
And really, we kind of went into it too. We looked at the map and everything and kind of knew a little bit about it, but we didn't really study everything about Celebration Key before we went because we kind of wanted to be a little bit surprised and just kind of take it in and kind of get our thoughts.
I didn't know you'd have to study too much. I mean, we can see what it is.
Well, I know. I just meant how some people just study every little thing about before they go places. We kind of wanted to go in it and just kind of take it in and,
Well, yeah, and before that, it's like, well, how does you can study all you want, but you don't know until you go there and you get the first-hand experience. Yeah. The Cam Fam, what's going on? We understood everything. To the left is adults and to the right is family, right? That's what we did too, Cam Fam. We felt the same way. Thank you for being smart like us and in agreement. We appreciate that. So that was a deal. Tess said, well, that's because they want you to pay $180 for the all-inclusive adults area. You're right about that. Heidi said, John Heald said they are addressing the under 18 at Calypso area for the 18 plus. So I guess ultimately what it's supposed to be is the west end of the lagoon, which is where the swim up bar, the party at the swim up bar, some of the more expensive cabanas that are over the water, and the beach area is only supposed to be 18 plus. And it was funny because kids were jumping in the pool, and next thing you know, kids are going up to the cabanas where they have a slide before anyone got there, and they're climbing up and going down the slide. And
and then the lifeguards
saying, "Get out of there!"
Yeah, so then that's the problem because some kids might, if they're not that old or whatever, they may not realize that those cabanas are things that people pay for. They just see a slide, a kid, they're just gonna
Thank you, Nancy. Nancy says, don't listen to the haters. You gave great first-hand experience on a tour. Thank you. Actually, that was cool. A lot of people said this is the best tour because it was just We just want to keep it simple. Sharon grabbed the camera and she walked
Wow.
that. Her and Matthew walked that.
Matthew had the camera.
Matthew and Sharon grabbed the camera. The two of them walked that whole dang thing.
Yeah.
I stayed by the chair, and then I went in the pool, and then I went over to the swim-up bar, had the first beer of the day at that bar. I was the first patron, so I was proud of that.
By the time I got over to the donuts and I saw the water, I was like, oh my God, I need some water. And then I told Matthew, I was like, you know what, before we finish this tour, we're having some donuts. So
You did. You went for the donuts. People were like, oh my God, this lady goes all the way to the Caribbean Celebration Key, and she's super excited about donuts.
that was, well, out of all the food I didn't eat that much food there, but out of what I did eat, the donuts were the best for me.
There you go. There you go.
But your food was better than mine. You said your food was pretty good.
Yes. Linda Land says, I hate it when parents bring the kids into the adult-only area. I kind of want to trip them as they run by, but, laws. Yeah, that's okay. Linda Land, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I told you, like next time we come, if it's like this, we should just go over to the other side, the Starfish Lagoon, because it was pretty empty because there wasn't any kids over there. So
and the food's better on the Starfish Lagoon side.
Yeah, that's another thing. The food trucks, they have better food trucks on the Starfish Lagoon side than the Calypso.
Yes.
And that's where the donuts are too.
There you go. You're right about that. Let's see. What else? I appreciate the vlogs, very thorough. Thank you, Shayna. That's very nice. I appreciate that. Kevin Brewberry's going to sneak a 5-horse water pump onto the ship and use it to keep the kids pinned to the other side of the pool. That's a good idea. That might work for you. Let's see. I'm glad a lot do the hate before Celebration Key seemed to tie down after people actually went. Well, Cruising Tyru, the one that we had one comment that really rubbed us wrong that I replied to, and they were upset because we didn't come out and bash it. Like our first trip there, we did a tour of it, so we want to show people what it looked like. We showed our experience and how it was for us, and of course we're gonna have a great time. Well, we always have a great time, no matter what we're gonna do.
And yeah, we did. And
and we're not there to bash it on the first time. We're there to experience it. Yeah. Then we gather our thoughts and put our opinions together. We just wanted to give everyone a tour and then spend the day there, enjoy the water and everything, and show that. But yeah, we there were a lot of things we didn't like, and there were some things we liked. So. Charles Hunt said, yes, thought the video was good and thorough. We love our kids and grandkids, but we also love adult time. Yeah, I don't care if the kids are there, but just lasso them in a little bit. Yeah. It went from, man, this is so relaxing, I'm loving this, to, and it got very wild very quickly. Yeah. During off season, I can see Starfish Lagoon being less busy than Calypso. You're right, but once people find out that kids are going to be on each side anyway, like I said, I like the food better. We'll go more into that in our video coming up here in the next day or two. So keep an eye out for that, as well as we still have Conquest Embarkation Day coming out, and we made that video. That's going to be one of our best Embarkation Day videos ever. I feel like, because you did a great job on that day. We both did, and so we're excited about
I'm
that.
trying to remember that day now.
It's a whirlwind, but I remember parts of it, and it was a great time. So we did a great job, and we got a couple other videos coming out too, and we're going to try to time them so that some of them come out before or during my surgery time, so we'll see how that goes. And if you can get past the whole food debacle, I think it's a great port. We're only really missing a water park, which I'm sure will be in phase 2. Yeah. That could be the case.
And another thing, the slides. So they had
Don't give too much away. It's going to be in the video.
They have the 2 slides going down, and I mean, you do pay extra for them. It was like $14.99. But for the day, the whole time we were walking around, Matthew and I did not see there was not one person in line to use the slides.
Well, earlier in the day there wasn't, and because people got onto the island a little bit later. We were some of the first people on.
But then later, every time I looked over there was just nobody in the line, no one on the side. I would be surprised. I would say if 10 people went down that slide, one of the slides, the day we were there. You might be a little undercutting it.
No, I think later in the day it might have got busy.
No.
Ali D said, we were there opening day, had a blast, like anything in the day is what you make of it. Exactly, Ali D. Yeah. That's exactly right. We had a good time. Even though we did, in our video, you can see where a little kid hopped on and stole Sharon's swing.
Well, that didn't make me upset.
It didn't, but a few people commented and they laughed at that. They're like, Sharon, you gotta grab that swing.
Like, whatever.
I kept saying, Sharon, sit on the swing, because I knew this family was right next to you, and the kid was eyeing up that swing. I'm like, sit. But the one thing is, the swings are okay. It's like a wooden seat with like a rope thing. And if you're a little bigger, wide shoulder, you're a little tighter in that rope thing. So every time I tried to hop up there, I felt the rope rub against me. I might have got a little rope burn. I'm not sure. The slides didn't seem, they weren't anything amazing. Coco K definitely hasn't beat on the slides.
Daniel Field said, did anyone rent a pool noodle? I'm gonna.
I didn't see any pool noodles.
I'm gonna say no. We saw the pool noodles along the side, the walkway where you could go up and get them, but I did not see one person in Calypso Lagoon with a pool noodle. The only one that had a pool noodle at Calypso Lagoon was me. And that wasn't their noodle. It was my own that I brought, the blow up kind of
that
noodle
was one that you got on the Sunrise Group Cruise.
Yeah, that I brought. And I brought that with me, and I was the only one in there with it. And so, you can bring your own thing with you for there. So, you don't need to rent their pool noodle and spend
Tess is laughing. LOL, $11 pool noodle rental.
Yeah.
I know. And then what? And then you got to go. Yeah, you got to make sure you return it at the end of the day. Like you'll be like, okay, son, where's the pool noodle we rented?
Yeah.
I don't know, Dad.
And I've seen some.
Another kid took it from me, and I haven't seen it in 3 hours.
I've seen some people trying to justify it, saying that, well, it is a nice. It's not like the dollar store pool noodles. It's a really nice, big, thick one, and that is true. It is a better quality, but still, any pool noodle is not worth $11 for that.
I don't understand why you would need one. I mean, it's like out of the entire lagoon, there's only one central area. It seemed like. Now, I didn't get right up close to where the cabanas were. Maybe it's a little deeper there. There wasn't a lot of deep water.
There might be a part in the middle there. It kind of maybe can come up to about your chest, but most of it is under, like your waist or a little under. Like it's not real deep.
Yeah, Sharon would pay $11 for donuts, but not a pool noodle.
That is right. That is right.
And
I did.
Noodle.
Actually, I think I paid like.
She loves your noodle.
Like 13 or something.
DJ J-Tech, what's up? We have not cruised out of San Diego, but we have debarked in San Diego.
Yeah.
And we love going to San Diego. I would love to go down there and cruise out of there. We might try to look into maybe a Holland cruise or something. So we'll see how that goes. Linda Land said, I saw blow-up floats that look like tanks and have water guns on the front. I almost got 2 for future battles. That would be a good time for the girls' cruise, as a matter of fact.
That's funny.
Hold on. Somebody else made a comment. I wanted to... Yes, Heidi says, it's okay to say what you like, but you don't want to bash it on your first experience, even second or third time. Honestly, I'm in the minority. After 3 times at Grand Turk, I'm staying on the ship. I don't totally disagree with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like when we went, we felt like we had a good time, but throughout the day, there were things where in the back of my mind, I'm like, my food wasn't really good, or I didn't really care for this. But when we were in the water, enjoying the time in the water and just kind of looking around, it all looked so... like just nice and
it looked great.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And so we had a good time. But would we go back there? Yeah, we would go back there. But like we were even talking, like a lot of people are going to compare it to Coco Cay. If you had a choice of going.
Are you sure?
If you had a choice to go to Celebration Key or Coco Cay.
Don't say it. Don't give it up. Are you going to say it?
Okay, I'm not going to tell you, but you'll be surprised. But in our video. Our next video,
that's a hot teaser, Sharon. I love
it. We'll have that information.
I love it. Bogan said, I heard that the slide lines have gotten up to 40 minutes on days when 2 ships are calling on Celebration Key. Well, for sure. Plus, I mean, we were there. One ship, it was the Conquest, barely 3,000 people. There were 4,000 from the Vista, maybe a little more the day before. And now they have finally gotten to a point where they're seeing 2 ships.
I thought that there would be more people on the slides because there's so many kids and it's summer. But we were on the Conquest. That cruise is a 3-day cruise. It was a little more of a party vibe cruise, so maybe that has something to do with it too. Some of the, like I know the Vista was a longer cruise, and there's other ships going there that are longer, so maybe more people are using the slide on those.
Yes. Chicken Mama said, do you use only cash while in the port instead of a debit card for checking account safety? No, Chicken Mama. When you are, you can use a little bit of cash for shopping at some of the vendor places and stuff like that.
Is that Celebration Key or just
I think that's maybe that's in general.
Yeah.
But no matter what port it is, Celebration Key or any other one, use a credit card, not a debit card.
Yeah.
You can use cash too, but like on Celebration Key, all the food you're going to get is all through a kiosk. You're either charging it to once you use your free complimentary meal, which could be anything as simple as mozzarella sticks, where Matthew had mozzarella sticks for his meal with fries and a cookie. Does not include a drink, by the way, $3 for a soda. So you can use it for that. Once you use your complimentary meal, then whatever you pay, you can charge it to your Sale and Sign card, or you can charge it to a credit card. But I do know that no matter which one you chose, you still had to put in your Sale and Sign card, and they know what you were purchasing. Then they gave you the option, how do you want to pay for this?
Yeah.
And I believe that's how it would be similar to the bars, because the biggest question for everybody is,
how do they keep track of your 15
do they
drinks?
keep do the drinks there count against your 15 drink package limit? And I believe they do, because Carnival's policy is they will not serve you more than 15 drinks in 24 hours, whether you pay for it or not. They do look to cut you off after 15 drinks. So I believe the same thing there. They are going to track how many drinks. So if you have the drink package and you have 10 drinks and you buy 5 on the island separately, that's still going to go towards 15. I can't prove that, but that is the logic that I believe Carnival will be using. So if anyone has any different, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, but in the shops and things over a Celebration Key,
Yeah.
you can use a credit card or you can use cash.
Yes. Kevin, yeah, I mean, if you have a drink package, you're on the cruise ship, you're definitely using it while you're on the ship, but you can't use it on the island.
No.
And that's how they are. And the one thing that's unique about it, Celebration Key, is that everyone there, like, there are no employees from the cruise ship working. Everyone that's working on the island, with very, very few exception, we saw a few people that were helping out, but everyone on the island lives in the Bahamas and goes there to work. The one dude I talked to, Alan, I think, at the swim-up bar, said he drives like 45 minutes from Freeport to get to work there. So it's not like Coco Cay, where they're taking everything off the cruise ship and bringing it to the island to serve you, where they have people working on the ship that then work on the island. It's not like that at all. Here, it's all outside vendors, the food vendors, the people selling gifts and trinkets, everyone, the lifeguards, the bartenders, everyone working. They all live in the Bahamas and they're all working there.
Yeah.
So that's,
I
I think
know some people are
that's
saying
another
if you
big
just
thing.
use your credit card, then they won't track you. Yeah, and I've heard people say that they've used their credit card and they've asked for their Sale and Sign card too. And then I've also had people say that they use their credit card and they weren't asked for it. So
Yeah.
that might be another thing that they're still working some kinks out. I don't know, maybe down the road they either won't ask everyone or they'll start asking everyone for it. So that's just another kind of inconsistent
Yes.
thing, I think.
Yes, Crazy Cat Traveler, I see your post there. I don't know how they wouldn't count towards the 15, because if you're on the cruise ship and you use 15 drinks, you cannot buy another drink when you're done. So I don't see how they could justify having 15 drink minimum on the ship, but then allowing you to buy as many as you want off the ship. I don't know how that would work. So, and I don't know anyone who's truly gone to that point. I've asked the question in a few places and we've not been able to get an answer. So if that's what those guys said, maybe, but I'd want to get some more information on it. So we'll see. If you use a credit card, make sure you use one that has no foreign transaction fee. Good point, Bogan.
Yeah,
That's definitely right.
That's a good thing.
Let's see.
See what means that Carnival is cracking down.
Yeah, Tess, you're right. That's what's so confusing. I've seen some take credit, some take cash, some take a Sale and Sign. Like, I had my Sale and Sign on my lanyard, so when I went to the swim-up bar, I just kept my Sale and Sign on me. But I'm not carrying a wallet around. So if you go to the swim-up bar, you're either putting it on your Sale and Sign if you're carrying it, and it can get wet, or do your credit card. I guess that could get wet too and still get used. So it's just a little bit of a weird deal. And I will say that whenever you get anything, food, beverage, whatever, they automatically add an 18% gratuity automatically, and a 10% VAT tax, value added tax that they have there. So tip and tax is added on everywhere. So that's a little bit of a weird deal.
28% total.
Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot extra that adds on. Yes, Rhonda said, yeah, maybe because this private vendor is selling to you like any other bar at a port. You're right about that. And that does make things a little bit different as far as when you're looking at why is food included, why is it not included. And I don't know how Carnival has it worked out. I don't know what they're paying. I don't know if the vendors are making money. I don't know if Carnival pays them. I don't know. That's all behind the scenes stuff, and it's above my pay grade to know how that works. But that's just let's see. Apparently, they did not count drinks against your drink package at least the first weekend for those who were posting about it. Well, I mean, maybe so. I guess we'll see where that all goes. But I'll tell you what, the first time somebody goes and buys a bunch of drinks on the island, and then comes back and has their 15, and they end up having 25, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Brandoline, yes, it is a perfect time right now. Call Sharon to make your final payment for the girls' cruise.
Well, not right now. Not right this minute, but
Right.
yeah. Sometime this week.
Ali D said just use a credit card for drinks, and they can't track that.
Yeah.
Ali D, but I believe that you give your sailing sign card.
No, that's what I said. Some people are saying they haven't had to give it, and I've had other people tell me they did have to show it along with their credit card. So that's why I'm just saying there's inconsistencies with things. So I guess, take your chance and try for the credit card, and hopefully they won't ask for anything else.
I know for the food items, you do them all on a kiosk.
Yeah.
And you put in your sailing sign first, and then it asks you, because it identifies whether or not you have a free meal available or a discount available. Then it asks you if you want to pay with your sailing sign or if you want to pay with your credit card. So I don't know. When we got drinks, we used our sailing sign card each time. We did not use a credit card for them.
Yeah. And with that, and since we did use it, they probably do track it that way. But yeah, maybe they're not asking everyone all the time for it. So.
Well, I mean, listen, maybe we'll have to go back and we'll go back with the
yes.
package. Just to get
Tess says so 28%, 10% tax, and 18% tip. That's right.
Yes.
28% total.
Yes, that's right. They mention duty free all the time, but all that's extra with the VAT tax, they wipe it out.
Yeah.
Maybe showing the sales sign card. Credit card's a way for them to validate it's your card. Testing. It might be, but I don't think they care whose credit card they're using. I mean, they're running the card, and they're rolling with it.
Yeah.
Coco K, none of those crazy charges. Richard, you're right about that. You are right about that. And Coco K, you can go get a bite to eat, do your thing, go back and get another bite, and that is kind of nice. They had plenty of different places to get food at. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And again, I like the food on Starfish Lagoon side better than the other side.
But I feel like having all the different food options around, it's nice, but I prefer having everything kind of in a location like other private islands.
Yeah, I had to take the tram to get tacos.
Yeah, like if I just want to walk up and have everything there, walk through, get what I want, and then sit down and eat. I don't want to, if like all of a sudden, I want tacos. I have to go, over to the other side of the island or whatever. I didn't want to go after I had already walked the whole entire island earlier that morning. I was like dying. It was so hot. Yep. So I decided to stay at Calypso and eat. So I went up to one of the things, and it was just like a burger, chicken tender.
I think they had like a cheesesteak there.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I just ordered the chicken tenders. I was hungry, hot, whatever. I ordered those.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've had better chicken tenders at like a Chick-fil-A or a fast food or something. Like they weren't that good. It was a lot of breading, not that much chicken, and then it came with fries and the cookie, which the cookie was so hot that the cookie was a complete melted mess. Now maybe in the winter when it's not as hot, the cookie would be great, but in the summer a cookie is just a big, hot mess.
Let's see. Can you pay cash for drinks or just shopping? I don't think you can do cash for drinks. I might be wrong. We didn't experience it, but I think it's going to be either your sailing sign or a credit card.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be cash.
Yeah, it has for food and drinks. It's a sailing sign or credit card.
Yes. Speaking of duty free, were there any code browns at Celebration Key, or is that only on Icon of the Seas? Well, Kevin, I will tell you there were at least 2 code pukes on each one of our cruises at time.
Oh, yeah.
They had to empty out the pool, and the one time it was in Nassau, and it's a funny story. We never got into it, but I will tell you that there was a woman had a small child bouncing the child around in the pool, up and down. Oh, hey, this is fun. The child pukes, so they have to empty everyone out of the pool. The woman and the child have to get out of the pool, and they close off the pool. But they can't empty it because the ship is in port. They can only empty the water out when they're at sea. So in port they have regulations, so they couldn't empty the water out, or at least they couldn't empty it properly and refill it.
So what does she do?
So the pool stays closed.
So she gets up, takes the kid, and the crew's kind of focusing on the pool at that point.
Yes.
She gets up and then on top of it, the kid kind of puked in her hair, so it was in her hair. So then she goes over and the two of them get in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And they're both just sitting in the jacuzzi.
So
finally,
yeah.
someone had to tell the crew that she was over in the jacuzzi. And then they went in and they kept trying to telling her to get out, but she really wasn't getting
they
out.
had to get security. Now, by that time, we had to leave, but they had to get security.
Yeah, so I don't know if she ever ended up getting out.
She was watching the puke off.
Yeah, I guess. But then the thing is, they never ended up closing the jacuzzi after she got in there.
Yes.
And I don't think they knew she had puke in her hair. I think they just, the pool. Cause
Yes, Heidi, that is right. Carnival has a 15 drink limit, even if you don't get the cheers. They limit you either way. They will not let you purchase cash over 15 drinks. Now, it's a gray area. You can buy buckets of beer sometimes. You can buy drinks for other people. It's a little bit of an unknown thing. I haven't done each one all the way through. I haven't paid for more than 15 drinks in a 24-hour period. But you're right that they do have that limit. They don't want you to have more than 15 drinks in a day. And that's why I keep saying that with this whole Celebration Key thing, if they're going to run your card, if they're going to charge your Sail and Sign card for some drinks, then you can't do it unless using a credit card is the workaround so that they can't identify if you've gotten more drinks. That's the only thing I can think of, because that is their policy. No more than 15 drinks in 24 hours. Jim and March said, many thanks for tips on the Ovation of the Sea. We got all the free activities like I Fly North Star on Embarkation Day. We're glad you enjoyed it. Jim and Marge, thank you very much. We appreciate the comment and for jumping in here.
So $20 drinks and an included underwhelming lunch. Yeah. As I thought, disappointing. But I'll still have a great time depending on how long it takes. Might have lunch on board. Yeah. One thing I thought is, I know people are complaining like about the food, only one option. Yes. Really, you only need one option to fill you up enough while you're there, and you can get back on the ship and eat. I think the thing that annoyed us more is we kind of maybe wanted to try a little bit of a few things, but it's not like you're going to eat you're going to eat the whole meal at several different places. That would be too much food. But so I think and I don't think people would, if they made everything all included, I don't think people would really eat a lot more necessarily. It would just make you feel less stressed about having to worry about where you can eat, and families can go eat wherever they want in different places. And they still can now, but it's hard because if you have little kids, like kids that aren't really old enough to walk to another location and get their own food, then the parent has to walk to multiple places if your kids all want different places. So it's just kind of a...
all right, listen, these are some really good comments. Bogan says, I hate the 15 drink limit, not because I've ever hit it, because it becomes a goalpost that some people feel they have to hit to get their money's worth. Bogan, I'm guilty of that. I'm telling you right now, I have friends where when we hit 15, we are holding that up like a badge of honor, like, woo! And then, of course, it stinks because if you spread it out all day long, you can get to 15 and not be schnockered. Like, if you don't start till late afternoon, that's another story. But if you do it all day long, you just have a few beers here, a few beers there, a little wine with dinner, after dinner drink, whatever, you can actually get to 15. And if you get there, and let's say hypothetically you're sitting there with 3 buddies and you're all at 15 and it's still not that late in the night, then you're left without any more drinks, and then you're trying to bum drinks off of your friends. IT's Paul and Cindy said, so if you buy the Cheers package plus get a bottle of alcohol in your room on a 7-day cruise, will they allow that? I think they will. I think they will allow that if you pre-purchase the bottle and then you get the Cheers package, because they don't really know what you're doing with that bottle, I guess is one way to look at it, if that makes sense. I went back to eat on board at Celebration Key. Things weren't open on land when I wanted to eat, said Julie. Yeah, it doesn't open till 11. You can't open till 11-ish.
It was 11:30 for us. But I know some other people have been saying it opened at 11. I think it depends on different ships and what time they're in port. I know for us it was 11 to, I think, 3 or 3:30. Things were open.
Yes. Yeah, it's not called day drinking if you don't start in the morning. You're right about that. How can they limit you to 15 drinks if you get the drink package at the beach club and have the drink package on the ship? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know, Charles. These are some of the unknowns that people will have the issue with. But that's why there's a lot of people that can hit 15 drinks in a day on the drink package, and that's why it's such a bummer. And the fact that they don't let you buy, Like, you cannot. I have begged someone, let me just buy another drink. And they're like, no, you're done. You're cut off at 15 drinks. It's a cutoff. Yes, if you want to pay $140 for a $25 bottle, you're right about that, Tess.
Yeah.
I remember when you'd pay twice. You know, $25 bottle was $55 or $60. Now it's $120, $140. It's insane.
It's expensive.
And asking your friends while the security was watching, that might have happened, said Wendy Johnson. It could happen, Wendy, couldn't it? I mean, I know you or I, or we would never be guilty of anything like that, or Roger, your husband, but others, you know, like Larry from Beauty and the Bum Travels, that's something he would probably do. If you gamble enough, the casino sends you a bottle to your room. Well, that's a whole different thing. Yes, plus with the Cheers package, a bottle in your room, 2 bottles of wine, and you go to the steakhouse and buy 50% off a bottle of wine, that would be crazy. Well, listen, Paul and Cindy, if there's anybody that can pull that off, I know it'd be you guys for sure. I've cruised with you, and I've seen the damage you guys can do. I've only hit 15 once, and I wasn't drunk at the time. I let 3 or 4 melt away and get nasty at the pool because I forgot my Yeti. That can happen. We were shocked that food trucks and places weren't open the whole time, said Ali D. I know, right?
Yeah, actually, the one thing that was open a little bit earlier was the donuts, because it was, I'm trying to remember what time. It was probably about 11 o'clock, maybe, or close to 11 when we were over on that side. So, and the other places weren't open yet. So maybe about 30 minutes to an hour, the donut truck opened before everything else.
And it should. That's like a breakfast truck. There were rumors that, you know, the first weekend, maybe they're not tracking everything. The people aren't tracking it that much. And of course, you never know, guys. I mean, you got to remember, these people that are working, serving the drinks, they don't work for the cruise line. They work for the company that's staffing it from the Bahamas. So I guess in the reality is, if you want a few extra drinks and you slip the guy a couple of bucks, who knows what you're going to get? Because these are just bartenders that usually would be bartenders in the Bahamas somewhere, and they decide to come work for at the Carnival place.
I will say my drink was very, very strong. That I got. The drink Celebration Key was the strongest drink I've had probably in 5 years.
It was
anywhere that I've ever had.
You were pretty loopy after that thing, weren't you?
Yeah, I felt like I drank 3 margaritas and I only drank 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Linda Lance, all I can say is guilty. You? Oh, no. No, Linda, I don't believe that for a second. I've never seen you have more than 3 or 4 cocktails, very respectfully and on your best behavior at all times. I was looking at about 11. No place was even open. I gave up too soon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was about 11:30 when things opened.
Yes, it was a slow roll. But there you go. So that was the deal. Sharon, it's 7:35. We've been at it for an hour.
And I'm curious to see when we go on the girls' cruise what it'll be like, because I'm sure several things will change between now and then.
Yes.
You know, as more people start going.
Hopefully a little glitch there with the connection got fixed after I readjusted. I think I've got a faulty wire that might need a little bit of a fixer-upper. Maybe I'll have a little extra time in August to do some work. Maybe. If I can get out of bed, because I will be
better.
I'll be under full repair. All right, so coming. Oh, hold on, a few more things coming up video-wise. So in the next 1 or 2 days, Celebration Key. What we liked, what we didn't like, and an overall, review of what we thought of our true thoughts on the place is going to come out. We're going to have a great embarkation day for the Conquest. Is it really a booze party cruise if it's a 3-day cruise, or was it just like any other cruise? We'll discuss that. We'll find that out. And we got a little Margaritaville on Grand Turk. We got a little Half Moon Cay. We might have 1 or 2 other things that we wanted to finish up from the trip. And then, of course, there'll be time for me to get cut open and get a full hip replacement. And if you're thinking, that's not a big deal, Jamie, do what I'm doing. I've been watching videos like a madman. Sharon comes in like, oh my God, I can't believe you're watching that. I couldn't stand to watch that. But I want to know everything that they're going to be doing. I'm watching when they cut the leg open, they go in there and they saw the bone. I mean, it's unbelievable stuff. So I'm excited about that, and we'll see how that works out. And of course, Thursday night, guys, Charger football is on TV. I mean, what could be better than that? And 2 days after my surgery, first Charger preseason game of the year. So it's definitely going to be a good time. And don't forget, guys, if you're interested, if you want to book a cruise, any cruise, contact Sharon. But the girls still have a little room on the girls group cruise. That's right, October 16 to 20, Carnival Freedom. Join Nancy and Sharon, nautical nurse Nancy and Sharon. And you can contact Sharon to book that cruise and have the time of your life with the ladies. Of course, if you haven't heard about it, the 2026 Jimmy Jamboree, one for the boys group cruise. It's a little weekend getaway, right? The 10th through the 13th. You get on Friday, you get off Monday morning, It's going to go to Great Stirrup Cay. It's going to go to Nassau. And in case you're interested, I have information. All right, now, Sharon does still have group cabins available. They are anywhere from $50 to $100 less than what you'll see online. So, for instance, a group rate is that the right number? Can I say that number?
Well, that's for a particular.
So a certain, let's say a particular let's say you wanted a balcony for 2 people on deck 10 or 11. It's $15.61. Now I know you're thinking that's a lot of money. $15.61 is a lot of money. That's a total that includes tax and everything. But that includes all of your drinks for the entire time. That includes one specialty dining experience for each person in your cabin for the 2 of you. That includes 75 minutes of Wi-Fi, so you can call home and let whoever's waiting for you at home know that you're safe, sound, and still alive during the boys' Jimmy Jamboree cruise. It includes an excursion credit if you're interested in doing that. If you want to book an excursion with the cruise, and each cabin gets $100 of onboard credit for the cabin.
Yeah. So, split. But I guess if it's 2 people and you split that in half, and considering it covers the drink package, it's not as bad, and it covers the drink package when you're on the like Great Stirrup Cay when you're on their private island, so you don't have to purchase more drinks.
Exactly. Great comment. Crazy Cat Child said, "Funny, the former nurse is less interested in the gross medical video than the soon-to-be patient." You are right.
Yeah.
All right, maybe excited is not there. I'm excited to be pain-free after the surgery. How about that? Let's see. Hold on. Hikanuki World Tour. If you buy a bottle of wine at dinner, does that count as a drink? No, it will not count as one of the drinks because they know you're sharing that with others traditionally. Unless you're somebody like me that might drink the whole thing. So there you go. And you're right, Roger. There is not a 15 drink limit. You are right about that.
Oh, on Norwegian, yeah.
Sweet Melissa Lou said 3 margaritas. Dang, she had that one margarita and she was feeling it. Yeah. Might have been because you didn't eat too much. I don't think we hadn't eaten at that time. Yeah. You only had a donut or 2 earlier, and it was hot as bells out there.
Oh my! It was hot, and I think that might have had something to do with it too. It was so hot. Yes. I have not been on a cruise where it's been that hot and humid in several years. It was.
Yes, we don't often cruise during the dead of summer. So that can be a little brutal.
Not to the Caribbean.
Hold on. And so before we get away from that, so contact Sharon to be on the Jimmy Jamboree. Just the boys. It's just the boys. The girls have their own time. Now the boys are going to have their own time. That's what that's about. Of course, the Greek Isles cruise still, we got so much coming up for that. Again, we mentioned, but by the middle of this week, all the information is going to be out. When are the Zoom calls? What are the excursions you can book that are group-oriented excursions? We'll give all the details on the Zoom calls.
There's no more group space left on this cruise.
Yes.
But if anyone did want to go, they can book. There are still cabins available on the cruise. So, but I could book you at the current rate and then pull you into the group so you would at least get the $100 onboard credit. But
nice work, Sharon.
But it would not be, but there's no more actual group rates that are discounted.
That's right. And not this year, but next year's group cruise, going back to the West Coast on the Norwegian Encore for New Year's Eve. So that's going to be cool. But so our plan is to have the Zoom calls before my surgery. So those will be within the next 2 weeks. And we'll answer a lot of questions about where we're going, how to get there, how the group will be set up. For anyone that's new to group cruising, you're going to get a lot of that. Those questions are going to be answered for you. So keep that in mind. And again, if you need to book a cruise, right down here, guys, boom, sharonatsea@gmail.com, sharonatsea@gmail.com. Years of experience, thousands of cruises booked, tons of cruises taken, tons of experience, all the different cruise lines she's worked with, and she can book you on from any destination, from any port, anywhere in the world. Did I say enough? Did I get the point across? Do you get the point? Contact Sharon to book your cruise. So that's everything. Did we cover all the bases tonight?
I think so.
I think we talked way more than we thought we were going to talk about Celebration Key. So Daniel feels that answers your question. What did we talk more about tonight than anything else? Celebration Key. Yeah. We weren't going to go over the top on the animals. Come on. We know you're not here for the bears and the elk. But it was a great show. Yeah. I enjoyed it. When are we going to be live again? That's a good question.
Oh, let me see. What is next Monday?
Next Monday is the Monday before my surgery. And I don't think we'll be live on the Monday after my Friday surgery. That might be a little bit tight.
So yeah,
Probably about 3 weeks or so.
yeah. So we'll probably go live next Monday again, on the 4th. Yeah.
Unless you do a live stream from the hospital.
No.
It'll be
Yeah.
hot
So
fire.
we'll go live on the
I think
4th.
people would like that.
And I was thinking, because I think on the 3rd, we're going to try to maybe do a Zoom call, and then either on the 5th or 6th, the
There
Zoom
you
calls
go.
for that cruise. So yeah. So
There you go. 255 days until the boys cruise, said Cruising Chris M. I'm excited about that, and I'm glad that you are too. When you're still under anesthesia, I'll work on that, Roger. Sharon is the best at Steve Morales. Steve, that's very nice. Thank you so much. Steaming Bean, we see you. What's going on? Ryan Sandberg. Oh, no, the pitcher that you're talking about?
oh,
Let's see. What else do we have? Larry said, you were such a trooper on the sunrise with your bad hip. You didn't let it get in the way of having fun or being a great host. Well, thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. And everyone was great to me, too. Holding doors, waiting for me, allowing me to go get a drink and catch up to him later. The whole 9 yards. Everyone was just fabulous and fantastic. So, so that's it. My Matthew said hi, and she had lunch with him today. He's doing good, said Julie Amos. We're glad that your Matthew's doing good.
That's good.
It's always funny when we're with Julie, because it's my Matthew and your Matthew, because we both have Matthews. So at least you have a private nurse to help you. Charles Hahn, you would think that, but I feel like I'm going to be like, Sharon, I got to go to the bathroom. Can you help me? Sharon, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I haven't even mentioned this. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Are you kidding me? Ozzy Osbourne. We lost Ozzy while we were on this trip. Devastating, unbelievable news. It's devastating. I'm going to be in bed going, Sharon! I'm going to be yelling for her just the same way Ozzy did. I can't believe that he's gone. I mean, It's just devastating. We'll talk more about that on the next time. Julie said, Jamie, you were getting me drinks on the cruise. Thank you so much. Oh, well, see, that's how I like to roll. That is how I like to roll. That's right. Sharon, just like Ozzy. The Hall of Fame second baseman. Okay, that's I knew he was a baseball player, but I had the position wrong. Live on the hip. Steve, that might be a great title. We'll see. I don't know what the thumbnail will be. We'll work it out. This A Buzz Me is always a good time on video. I'll tell you that right now. All right, so listen, guys. You've been fabulous. You've been great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. Sorry we had a little glitch there. We'll get the wiring handled. I'll put Sharon all over it while I'm recovering.
Well, that's not going to fix anything.
You don't think so?
I'm not.
Come on, you can do it. I know you can do it. All right, you guys have been great. So thanks for joining us. And until next time, from all of us here at Sharon Sea Travel, to all of you, from me, Sharon, Matthew, Callie, Lucy, our dog, from all the other family, and thanks again to Nautical Nurse Nancy, and of course, Leanne Francisconi. And make sure that you go over and check out Nautical Nurse Nancy's channel. I know you guys have already, but it goes without saying, go there and watch the content. She's got content. She's got old content. She's got new content. She's got it all. So go check her out, please. And until next time, from all of us here to all of you,
Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next Monday.
we'll see you next Monday. All right, let me hit the right thing.
Or on the next
Boom,
video.
Boom, boom. Yeah, definitely not next Monday, but on the next video. You're right about that.
No.
And that should be Celebration Key.
Next Monday, too.
Next Monday? Are we going to go live next Monday?
Oh, my God. I just said that.
Okay, so we're going to do next Monday and then 2 Mondays after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you're going to go with 3. All right, we'll see you next Monday.
He never listens.
We'll see you next Monday. We'll
night,
see you on the
everyone.
Zoom call. And we'll see you when we see you.